All right, welcome back to the weekly update. So this is the weekly update for 7/22/22. Um, it's the upcoming weapons outfits. So in this announcement, they discuss the minor update, including new weapon outfits, as well as other upcoming minor updates and major updates. Next week, they're going to be releasing the new outfits. These outfits spawn in inventory boxes, similar way to scuba, firefighting, etc. While they're available in the base game, they only function cosmetically. With weapons DLC enabled, these outfits provide enhanced ballistic protection. So, essentially, looks like different levels of body armor, um, and that way you can utilize those if you are playing weapons DLC to kind of protect your player character a little bit. Of course, there'll be more than just these new features, and many fixes and improvements will also be included next week's updates. We're getting further ahead with our updates and have managed to extend our lead in time between completing or near completing an update and releasing it. This has given us more time for quality control and testing, and is generally just a calmer way of working. This also means we are working on various minor and major updates at any time. So that's good that they're able to kind of diversify what they're working on. One thing like for example, this update doesn't interest me all that much. I don't use weapons DLC. I don't play multiplayer, so having player character with armor really doesn't do anything for me. But when they're talking here about how they're able to work on multiple updates simultaneously, if say it took them 7 months to make some weapons-based DLC or something that I wasn't going to use, it would be a little bit disappointing because, for all that time, there would be no content for me. By working in parallel, it allows probably a little something for everybody. And while you may not get all that you want for the type of gameplay you're doing, you get some, and somebody else gets their type of gameplay. So that's probably the smarter way to work. Make it so that you can cover more of the community. We have previously discussed a new major update that we've been working on that we'd like to extend and expand into a much bigger DLC update. People are already complaining and crying in the comments about DLC. You need DLC. All right, I understand that people want things for free. If you go on the forum, you'll consistently see people begging and asking for, please, somebody buy me this game, or why isn't the game free, or something like that. The developers need to eat, they need to feed their families, and one of the ways you keep a game alive is you either do live service where you're paying for the game with a subscription, like say WoW, for example, or you do DLC. This is a very inexpensive game. It's $30 or less. DLC's $10. I think total I paid like 30 something dollars for this game. You can extrapolate it out. It's kind of a niche game. If there's a million units, there's 30 million, and then you talk about a good portion of it goes to Steam, and it sounds like a lot of money, but you start talking how many people you have to pay salaries, you have to pay health and welfare, you have to pay all these benefits, and so you have to have an office, you have to pay for insurance, so you start to get into a situation where the money, you need a consistent supply of money to come in and just to run a business. And so part of that's DLC. And so I'm perfectly happy to support the game and to pay for more DLC. And because it is, and they actually did the DLC with weapons in a very smart way. They gave all the parts to everybody, and they don't work if you don't buy the DLC. So you can still use them for cosmetics. You can still download something from the workbench. For example, I use parts that might be a weapon part for weight ballast. And so you can download one of my workshop creations and still use it if you don't have weapons DLC because of that method of DLC. And then if you actually want the functionality of the guns, you buy the weapons DLC. So I'm all for DLC. The price has been reasonable. The content has been worth it. And I'm perfectly happy to support the game. And I actually don't mind paying for things that I use. So looks good to me, and I think it'll be nice to have a full-on DLC come out. Still considering working on other new features that are related that could become part of this, if not their own update. We're also working on major update features, and while it's too early to talk about specifics, there is a lot of really interesting, fun stuff that can add a lot of life to the world of Stormworks. So definitely seems like they have a lot of plans. They've already talked about they have at least a couple of years of planning already in mind. So that makes me happy that they're continuing to support the game and to improve it. I'm a big sucker for parts. Throw parts at me all day long. That's what I want in game. If you care to go in the discussion area where nobody is talking about the actual content of this update, they're just it's the usual complainers essentially, and they're complaining about the standard stuff that they always. It's like robots every week, same couple complaints. Um, so I don't even bother going in there anymore. But I'm looking forward to these major updates. I think there's gonna be some good stuff coming up. I'm excited about the new Steam parts. I've enjoyed using those. Um, kind of thinking about what I can do. That I have yet to get into nuclear, and this might get me into nuclear, where I decide to, use nuclear to power some steam pistons to then probably do electric drive system. So looks really good. I'm looking forward to this. Looking forward to next week. Again, I'm not really it's not up my alley. These the armor and the helmets and stuff. Not interested in that. But I look forward to some of the fixes and the it's kind of the minor updates and more information on the major updates. So that's just my thoughts on the July 22nd, 22 update. We'll see you later.